It might feel a little awkward. It might feel a little uncomfortable at first. You're like, oh my gosh, I really should have put that button back on. I really should have whatever, right? But that's just because you're not used to it in this new way. You can 100% rewrite these rules. You wrote them to begin with, and you can change them. I promise you.
You're listening to the Decluttering Club podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Mueller, and it's my mission to equip women to declutter their homes, their time, and their lives so that they can cherish what truly matters.
You are listening to the Decluttering Club podcast, episode number 51. Donation quirks that are costing you big time. All right, you guys, are you ready? Today, we're going to dive in. This is going to be short and punchy, and I got some things to share with you. Okay, so I have been listening because I love listening to you all, and I love hearing about like how it's going. Is it going well? Is it, are you having problems? Like, where are you stuck? Where can we help? Where can we jump in and serve you? And this is an area that popped up for me, I think over the last couple weeks, as I was hearing you all talk about donating things. Okay, now before we get into this, hang on a second. Okay, before we get into this, I am not saying that you have to donate everything. If you want to sell things, I am all in. If you want to give them away, or if you want to throw them in the trash, and I'm going to say the word trash because I want you to know that sometimes things need to go in the trash, that is okay. So you have that permission, not that you need it, but you have it, right? But today we're talking about donating. And when I say donate, I mean you're giving something to an organization, right? It's different than, let's say, a gift to a friend. I really feel like donating is when you're giving things either one at a time or maybe in bulk to an organization. It's not like a one-to-one kind of thing. This is not giving to your neighbor. This is not giving to, this person that you identified, okay? Donating, it's really you giving to an organization, and you may or may not know that organization very well. That's what I mean, okay? Now, here are the things that I am hearing from you, and I also asked on Facebook for some input, and you all told me some of these things as well, okay? Are you ready? This is the first one. All right, the first thing that I hear from you a lot is you are waiting. You're waiting to donate for a number of different reasons. You might be waiting till you have a quote unquote full load, okay? Whether it's your full trunk or it's a full box or, it's like, I want to wait until it's worth it to schedule a pickup or whatever. Okay, I want to wait until it's worth it. Let me tell you, if you're getting stuff out the door, it is worth it. And I don't care if your trunk is half full or if you've got one little bag, get that stuff out the door. Now, obviously, we're not going to go 10 times a day. Okay, so you're going to use your judgment there, but don't let that stuff sit, by the front door or in the trunk, taking up space for days or weeks or months because it's just not quite worth it yet. It is worth it. Okay, so let that one go. I want you to redefine what it means to make it worth it for you, okay? And it's really your time, right? We want to maximize our time. We really do. I am all in on that, right? I don't want you like frivolously jumping around, like going to the thrift store 7 times a week because you found one extra little thing to drop off. But sometimes we take that to the extreme and we're like, well, it's not worth it. I want to maximize my time. And at the same time, we are minimizing our time by wasting it in other ways, okay? So don't wait for a full load or a full bag or whatever that looks like. And instead, maybe you want to identify a day of the week to go, or maybe you want to say, when I'm done with this particular project, I'm going to go, or when it's convenient. If you're driving by the thrift store and it takes 5 minutes or 10 minutes, then do that, whether you have one bag or a whole bunch of them, okay? Don't wait for a full load. All right, the next thing on the list, washing items. Okay, a lot of you want to wash clothing before you donate it, or you want to clean things up. And all in on this. Like, this is lovely. It really is. There's nothing wrong with this. Okay, but I just want to make sure it's not getting in the way of you donating. Okay, now if the clothes were dirty to begin with, right? Like, absolutely, we don't want to donate dirty clothes or dirty things. Absolutely not. But if they've just been in your closet and they're just a little maybe a little dusty or something like that, and you are a busy person and you do value your time, I'm going to say that this might be a good opportunity to just donate them in that condition, right? You don't have to freshen them up. I mean, if I'm buying something, or if anybody is buying something at the thrift store or, at a donation place, chances are they're going to wash it when they bring it home. Okay, so don't let this become a hindrance to you. And again, if you're like, oh no, it's no big deal, like, no big deal. I just wash these things and then they're out the door. No problem. Fantastic. Love it. But if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm already behind on laundry and now I got to do 4 more loads and then I have to fold them because who wants to donate like stuff that's all in a heap? And that sounds like a lot of work. So instead, I'm just going to leave them. Don't do that. Okay. Don't do that. Use your judgment there. And maybe you want to redefine what it looks like for you to donate things. Maybe you stop washing all of them unless they're like, not clean. Okay. Next item on the list, fixing items. Okay. Fixing items. This is similar, right? If something is, not quite like perfect, maybe there's a button missing on a shirt, or maybe, a hem needs a little bit of work. Now, you may want to spend the time, invest the time to fix that thing. You may decide, it's really not like nobody's going to want this as is. It would take a lot of time to fix that. So maybe you decide this is not something I want to invest my time in. Okay. But I'm going to say, if a button is missing, or if there's a few loose threads or whatever, that it may still be in serviceable condition. And someone, who's buying it secondhand may be perfectly glad to go and fix that. And it's not a problem for them. Again, we're looking for things that are getting in the way of you donating. We want to eliminate all of those speed bumps as much as possible. Okay. Much as possible. So if you are waiting to fix things in order to donate them, I want to say, let's just remove that requirement. You can just decide that this is no longer a thing for you and just donate it right away. Now, it might feel a little awkward. It might feel a little uncomfortable at first. You're like, oh my gosh, I really should have put that button back on. I really should have whatever, right? But that's just because you're not used to it in this new way. You can 100% rewrite these rules. You wrote them to begin with, and you can change them. I promise you. Okay, next item on the list. This is a good one. Are you ready? Waiting or looking for the quote unquote full set of things. So this might look like dishes or silverware. You're like, I can't donate, 3 plates and 4 saucers. Like, who wants that? That's wrong. It is not wrong. Okay, I promise you, it's not. People may not even know that it was a set of 8 to begin with. Maybe they're looking for that exact pattern, or what's more likely is they just want some dishes, and maybe they want dishes to give to their kids that they can drop on the floor and they won't mind if they break. Stop waiting to complete sets to donate things. Okay? Someone might want that serving bowl that is just like amazing and they don't need the rest of it to go along with it. Right? This is a huge, huge problem for a lot of people because you hold on to that stuff. You're like, we are going to donate this. We don't like this stuff. It's for sure going out the door. But we know that there's, whatever other piece, and it'd be so nice if it all went together. Well, it would be nice. Yeah, I'm not saying it wouldn't. But if it's going to slow you down, how long are you going to look for that, that missing like gravy boat? It may be in your house somewhere, or maybe it's not, but do we really want to wait 6 months to a year? No, we don't. Get it out the door. Stop waiting for that perfect, full set of things. Okay, next item on the list, having a favorite drop-off day. Okay, maybe you're like, I always go on Wednesdays because I can say hi to Susie and, she waves at me and she takes care of my stuff, right? Like, that's cool. But what if Wednesday is not a good day for you? What if you have a hard time making it there on Wednesday and maybe Susie's not even there? So let's be careful, again, not to be too rigid in our rules, right? And I really want to encourage you to drop off when it's convenient for you. How can we make this simple? For some of you, it's going to be simple to decide I always drop off on Wednesdays, period, and I don't even think about it. But for others of you, it's going to be like when I'm driving by, that is when I drop off, no matter whether I have, one bag or 20 bags in the car. That's when I go. Like, look out for those really rigid rules that you have put in place. You put them there, you can take them out. Okay. Look out for those things. And again, we're looking for things that are preventing us from moving forward. We're looking for those speed bumps. All right, next item on the list is thinking you need, like, let's say the packaging, or you need the manual, you need the instructions before you can donate the thing. Again, nothing wrong with this. Lovely idea, right? Maybe you've got an appliance and you're like, oh, I have that box somewhere. It's kind of buried, and I probably have the instructions. So I'm gonna wait. Again, waiting is just so fatal in this situation. We don't want to wait for these things. People will be able to get the instructions. Like, who reads instructions anyway? I don't. It's all available online. We can figure these things out. And maybe the packaging would be useful. Oh, that's such a sneaky word. Who cares if it's useful? Get that thing out the door. And then maybe you find the box later and you're like, oh, look at that. I can recycle it. This is good news. This is not bad news. This doesn't mean, oh my gosh, I should have waited. No. What it means is, oh, this is good news. Now I can recycle the box of packaging as well. All right, next item on my list, finding the quote unquote right place to donate. Some of you want to donate your books to one place, and then you want to donate your, nicer clothes to another place, and then you want to donate the hats to over here, and then you want to donate the clothes to the foster care agency, and you want to make sure you go bring the books to the library sale, but only twice a year because they only do that twice a year. And before you know it, you have a lot of rules that are penning you in. They're holding you down. Okay. And so now you have to think about it. You have to make a lot of decisions. You have to look at the calendar. You have to make phone calls. Are you accepting furniture right now? Oh, no, we're not. Are you accepting winter coats right now? No, it's too late for that. Oh my gosh. There is a huge thought process that is going on when we are looking for the quote unquote right place to donate. Okay. So again, if you want to do this, I'm all in. Amazing. Some of you get tremendous joy from finding the right organization who needs that thing or who's like so grateful to have it. So do that, but just make sure it's not holding you back. Maybe you do it in specific instances, right? With the very special things that you want to have, you want to pass those on where it matters. But maybe that's 5% of what you donate, and the rest of it, make a blanket rule. 1 or 2 places where you donate things and then be done with it. You can decide up front, all my donations go to this place or that place. Or maybe you have 2 or 3 places, but decide that up front and now you never have to think about it again. Can you imagine how much time that's going to save you? Can you imagine how much easier it's going to be to donate if you're like, oh, I don't even think about it. I just take it and go, right? This will simplify your life. And that's what we're looking for here. We're about less stuff, more life. So we got to work on the less stuff part so that we can get to the more life part. So let's not make it complicated. Okay. Okay. Along with this goes the idea that there is a right place. Okay. Where's the right place to donate for this whatever? Guess what? The right place, some of you know this answer already. The right place is the place that you pick. That's it. You decide where the right place is. You can't get this wrong. Have you thought about that? You literally can't get this wrong. I promise you. Okay. Along with this idea, right, that you could just pick one or several places to donate, is I hear a lot of you say, I don't want to donate to this organization or that organization. And typically, I'm not going to name names, but typically it's like, oh, they make a profit off my donations, so I'm not going to donate there. Let me rephrase. Let me help you think about this a little bit differently. I think when we feel like this, we're like, I'm giving a gift. My clutter is a gift. And if someone turns around and sells that gift, that feels horrible. That's like wrong. Like if you gave someone a birthday present and they were like, thank you so much, and then they turned around and sold it, you'd be like, what the heck? Why did I give you a birthday present? If you didn't want it, You should have just told me. Okay. But donations are not gifts. They are not. They are things that you do not need or that you do not want. Or for some reason you have decided they're no longer, you know, something that you want to keep in your home. They're not gifts. You're not doing that organization a favor by giving them your clutter. In fact, you are each doing each other a favor, right? They're providing you a service. They're taking your things off your hands so that you don't have to pay to have them taken away, because that is a thing, right? It won't cost you money to get these things out of your house, and you can feel good that you're not throwing them in the landfill. So they are providing you a service, and in return, you are providing them a service as well. You are providing them with the materials for their customers so that they can then in turn continue to operate. Okay, like who cares if they're making a profit? Why is that a problem? Okay, and I know a lot of people get really hung up on, oh my gosh, that executive is making this much money. Like, I don't even know, right? Like, I don't really care. I want you to get that stuff out of your house. And if that particular thrift store is the one that is the best one for you, it's the most convenient or whatever, then why would we say no to that? Okay, your donations are not gifts. And it's okay. In fact, that's how they operate, so that they can, continue to serve the community, right? There's nothing wrong with making a profit. So I really encourage you to, if you're worried about this, like, I encourage you to just relax about it. Like, let's just let these things go. And, if you have been like, oh, I can't do that, like, this doesn't work for me, maybe this will help you to think about it differently and just free you up. That's what I'm looking for here, right? Like, these organizations, they are not, they don't care either way, right? So this is all about you and how can we make your life easier? And if a business can take my clutter that I do not need, if they will take it off my hands, I'm like, this is amazing. And I always believe, and this is a choice that I make, I always, always believe someone is going to be so glad to find this thing that I am letting go of. I don't want it, right? I don't want it. So why would I insist that someone else treat it a certain way? Okay, I just assume the right person is going to come along and they're going to find it and they're going to take it home and be thrilled. Now, do I know this for sure? I don't know this for sure. Maybe this organization that I donate to, maybe they turn around and it goes right in the trash. Now, hopefully I don't see that, right? Like, let's hope that we don't actually witness that happening. But I'm sure it does happen, right? But on the whole, overall, they are selling, they are passing on way more things than are going in the trash. Let's hope so. Okay. Now, if we're donating trash, then it's not a surprise that they're going to throw it in the trash, right? That makes sense. And in fact, we're doing them a disservice by donating things that are not in good condition. So we really do want to be careful there. But again, if you are donating things, I just encourage you to just walk away. Make a rule. Here's a rule that will serve you. Make a rule that when you donate, you do not go back in the front door and see what else is available, right? You need to make a separate trip for that and on a separate day. Okay. And maybe you want like a holding period, like a waiting period, because I know that is a thing too. Oh, let's go drop some things off and then we'll go back to the front door and then we'll pick some more up. And as long as we dropped off more than we picked up, it's all good. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't window shop in the thrift store. Not a great idea. Okay. So really, really think about, especially if you are feeling like really like frustrated over the fact that, you'd like to donate here, but you don't like that organization. Like, just think about that. Is it serving you? I don't care about the organization. I care about you, right? This is where my priority is in helping you to get that stuff, right? Get to less stuff so that you can have more life. So at the end of the day, we really just want to think, what is the fastest way? What is the simplest path for you to get, to identify these donations and get them out of your house and, out of your life? In the trunk of the car doesn't count, right? We have to get them gone. And so I invite you to see any of these little quirks, Are these something that you have going on, and do you want to change them? Now, I don't want you to listen to this list and then start feeling bad about it. Right? I don't want, like, someone posted on Facebook and she was like, oh, I'm guilty of that one. I'm like, no, there's no guilt here. This is not a court of law, and you are not on trial. Okay, this is not a chance for you to be like, oh my gosh, here I am again. Oh dear. No, that's not what this is about. This is about giving you new things to think about so that you can try things in different ways. Okay, if we've done things the way we've always done them, we're going to get the same results that we have always gotten. So what we need to do is notice what are the activities and really what are the beliefs in our heads that are not moving us forward. Let's notice them and then let's shift them. Let's try something different. And then let's see what happens, right? We might like the new result better than before. And you might be like, you know what? I used to wash everything before I donated, or I used to donate over here, and now I donate over here. It may take a little bit of time to get used to it because our brains are resistant to change. And your brain is like, oh my gosh, you're doing it wrong. You're going to make a mistake. This is trouble, danger, 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 right? That's just because it's new and different. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It just means you haven't gotten used to it yet. So give it a try. Make sure you give it a chance before you decide this is a terrible idea. I have to go back to doing it the other way. Okay. I think also one final note is that a lot of the time, a lot of these rules that we put in place, they are because we are looking for a sense of control. Okay. So we think if I do it right, if I control this thing, right, then I'm going to feel like I'm in control of my life, right? And we are all looking for control. Like that gives us certainty and that makes us feel safe. Like if we're like, yes, we know how things are going to go, that is very comfortable and calming for us. But the problem is sometimes these rules that we put in place, they may give us certainty, but then they become a prison and they're too hard to maintain. So again, I just want you to notice if that's happening, then just change the rule. Make a new one. You get to decide exactly how this looks like for you. All right, that's what I have for you. We'll see you next week, everyone. Take care. That's all we have for you today. If you enjoyed this podcast, would you leave us a review? It would really help us get the word out. To start your decluttering journey, go to thedeclutteringclub.com. That is declutteringclub.com. We'll see you next time.